Hi guys, Dr. Dan from Valley Rising Chiropractic. Today we're going to talk about the number one reason your sciatica or sciatic pain might not be going away. There's a lot of confusion about what sciatica is and what causes sciatica. I thought I'd have a look to see what Wikipedia said about sciatica, and this is what it says. Sciatica is a medical condition characterized by pain going down the leg from the lower back. This pain may go down the back, outside, or front of the leg. Onset is often sudden following activities like heavy lifting, though gradual onset may also occur. So basically, they're saying if you've got pain going from the lower back, down the front, the side, the back of the leg, it might be a sciatica. If you did heavy lifting and it came on, it might be a sciatica, but if it came on gradually, it might be a sciatica as well. The pain is often described as shooting. Typically, symptoms are only on one side of the body. Certain causes, however, may result in pain on both sides. So it's on one side of the body, but sometimes it's on both. Lower back pain is sometimes present. Weakness or numbness may occur in various parts of the affected leg and foot. And it goes on to say about 90% of sciatica is due to a spinal disc herniation pressing on one of the lumbar or sacral nerve roots. Now, that's a really broad, it's not even a definition and it's not even really a diagnosis. To say that 90% of sciatica, what people are being diagnosed with, comes from a lumbar disc herniation, I completely disagree with. To say that compression of the lumbar and sacral nerves due to disc herniation is 90% of cases, maybe. But a lot of people get, especially they come into our practice, they get diagnosed with sciatica because they have low back pain with pain even sometimes just in the hip or down the leg. Now, pain in a sciatic distribution, that's what that is. Compression of nerves that make up the sciatic nerve is a completely different thing. There's nerves, two in the lumbar spine and two in the sacrum, the sacral nerve roots that make up the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve is actually two nerves that are closely wrapped together. When those nerves are compressed, most of the time, well, they're saying most of the time it comes from a disc herniation, which even then, I'd suggest that's probably not true. So what can cause, if you get diagnosed with sciatica, if they haven't done any sort of imaging, then to say that you've got compression of the nerve roots, they've really got nothing strong to go on to say that there's actual nerve root compression there. So in our practice, what do we see causes pain in a sciatic distribution? 1, dysfunction in the lumbar spine. So, like they said, lumbar discs, they don't have to be herniated, they can have fissures in the discs. The disc can be drying out and starting to crack. That can cause pain in a sciatic distribution. Lumbar facet joints, the joints either side of the discs, if they are degenerative, they can put pressure on the nerves that make up the sciatic nerve, which can result in pain in the sciatic distribution. But inflammation of those joints in themselves can produce pain in a sciatic distribution without the actual nerve compression. Sacroiliac joints, so the joints either side of the sacrum, and I would say a large proportion of the people that come in to our practice that have been elsewhere and gotten a sciatic pain diagnosis, it's the sacroiliac joints that are the problem, and they are leading to dysfunction in the lumbar spine, the lumbar discs, the facet joints. Another big one is, especially if they've been to soft tissue practitioners, they might get diagnosed with like type piriformis or a piriformis syndrome leading to pain in our sciatic distribution. There's a lot of debate around whether piriformis syndrome actually exists. tight piriformis muscles definitely exist, but piriformis syndrome is the idea that the muscle gets so tight that it squishes on the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve in some people runs through the piriformis, in some people it runs under. That, as a diagnosis, there's a lot of debate about, but definitely piriformis muscles get tight. Now, why do piriformis muscles get tight though? Because your muscles don't just decide to attack you one day and cause pain. Well, we've said this in other videos. The only job of muscles is to move a joint or protect a joint. That's the only reason they exist. If the piriformis muscle is tight, it's because the nervous system wants it to be tight. The nervous system is the boss. If the nervous system says there is a joint, or sometimes it's a structure around the joint like a nerve, that is in danger, it will switch a muscle on to protect it, and it'll keep that muscle switched on until that problem is rectified. So a lot of people that come into our practice, they do have tight piriformis muscles. It's leading to a pain distribution which can be termed sciatica. But the piriformis muscle is switched on because when the piriformis muscle switches on, it externally rotates the leg, and the body does that to produce length in that leg. Often the cause of the muscle being switched on is a rotation in a misalignment in the sacroiliac joint that's causing a short leg on that side. So the body tries to rectify that. There are no muscles that directly act on the sacroiliac joint, so it can't switch one on to try and correct the tilt in the pelvis. So what it does is it switches on the piriformis muscle to externally rotate the leg, whichever leg is on the short side, to try and produce length to take out that inequality. Now, if you don't ever correct the sacroiliac joint to bring back or at least decrease a leg length discrepancy, the body will continue to switch on the piriformis muscle, even if you go to a soft tissue practitioner and get the piriformis stripped away and switched off. By the time you get back out to the car, the body will be working on switching the piriformis back on. That's why a lot of people that come through to our practice and we get results with the sciatic pain, they haven't had results previously, is because the focus has been too micro on the tight muscle, on the bit that seems to be causing the pain, and the whole complex, lumbar spine, sacroiliac joint, and the musculature around it hasn't been assessed to see what is the true cause of the dysfunction that is leading to the pain. Another thing is that by the time you've got pain in a sciatic distribution, especially if that pain's come on gradually, that dysfunction has been in place for likely many years, sometimes 10, 20 years. If we've got grounds to x-ray someone's lumbar spine and they've got that sort of a symptom going on, often especially the L5-S1 joint has been degenerating for years and years and years and years, and it's finally gotten to the point where nerve compression has become great enough to produce that pain in the sciatic distribution, or the musculature has been switched on for so long that the muscles are just burning out and they're inflaming all the time. The joints or the discs can be inflaming as well, causing the sciatica, or what might be termed sciatica. So at Valley Rising, what we do is we assess lumbar spine, pelvis, we do soft tissue analysis to see, because that most of the time will confirm, yes, it's a sacroiliac joint problem, it's a lumbar spine problem. If there's been trauma, which most people, even when they've been growing up, they ride motorbikes, they ride horses, falls off trampolines, or they've played football before, there's some sort of trauma that happened many years ago. We can x-ray the lumbar spine to see if there's been trauma there. That will start off a degenerative cascade. Once that's determined, we can put a treatment protocol in place, and all we do here is adjust subluxation, so we adjust vertebral joints, and we'll correct sacroiliac joints as well, to take pressure off the nervous system, allow the body to heal whatever needs to be healed, and when function when function is restored and healing has taken place, the pain, the body switches the pain off. The pain is an alarm bell that things aren't going well. No one ever dies of pain as much as they might want to. Pain is there like a smoke detector to tell us that there is an issue that needs to be addressed, and until you address that issue, the alarm bell's going to keep going off. That's why some people get short-term benefit from some treatment modalities, but it keeps coming back and they think, well, I'm going to be stuck with this forever. You need to address the whole complex lumbar spine and pelvis, not just the soft tissues, because the soft tissues are worker bees for the nervous system, and that's when people get the best results, in my opinion, with sciatica or pain in a sciatic distribution. I think that's all I've got to say about that one. Lots of people get diagnosed, they get given opioid pain medications for sciatica, which that's just like going over and smashing a smoke detector because it's going off and telling you there's a fire in the room. You need to address the underlying cause, take pressure off nerves if there is pressure on there, and let the body heal itself the way it's always meant to do. If you like that video, guys, give us a like, share it with other people that might need our help, tag people in it that could use some help getting back to the life they used to enjoy. It's if you haven't been in pain before, it's really hard to imagine how much it affects people's lives when they can't actually do the things that they used to love doing. And that's the only reason anyone ever goes to any sort of doctor's office. It's not because they're in pain or because they've got this, that, the other symptom. It's because they're not able to live the life that they used to live or that they want to live outside of the office. Excellent. Visit our website, valleyrising.com. Like our Facebook page, all the things are on the Instagram and everything these days. Hope you have an excellent afternoon, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.